You wanted more proof Appalachia was the most haunted place in America? Watch this. The Appalachian Mountains are older than dinosaurs. People who have lived here all their lives, like myself, know what's really out there. Some people will tell you there's nothing. Some people don't have those paranormal, creepy encounters. But for those of us who have, we know the truth. I'm going to show you a video today. It was captured on a home security camera. And I need you to listen and pay attention very closely, because what was captured is one of the many reasons why people close their curtains at night, lock their doors, and whatever they do, they never whistle in the woods or answer when something calls their name.
Have you guys heard of the Night Lady? This all started in Chihuahua, Mexico, 2009. Residents started noticing something really disturbing. You see, now some of the children in the area were going missing. I gotta grab some food for this one. Look at this beautiful roll. Now with all the children around the area going missing, people started reporting seeing a woman. They said she would climb on the rooftops during the day, only to wait till night to sneak in through the window to snatch children. Police then sketched an image of what they believed to be the Night Lady. Only one child has been reported of actually escaping the Night Lady. You see, his parents had ran into the room and caught her just in time. She quickly then escaped and crawled out of the window. Wait, before I continue, let's say the Night Lady had taken you. Your third act has to come and save you. Who is it? Let me know who it is. Anyways, the kid that got away recounted waking up in the middle of the night and seeing the Night Lady standing over top of him, just watching him. People have brushed this off as just one big hoax until after midnight, a teenage girl had captured this photo. This is supposedly the Night Lady.
If a host at an Airbnb in New Orleans gives you a warning, listen to it. We'll call her Kate. Kate was staying in town for a business meeting, so she said she was staying at this cute little Airbnb down around the French Quarter. She was alone. She didn't want to stay in hotels. She said she always kind of got the ick in hotels. She felt like they were more dangerous. So she goes to the Airbnb. She had the code to get in, and the host had left her a handwritten note that said, you know, do whatever, you know, just clean up after yourself. But then it also said, do not open the door after midnight for anyone. She thought that they were just trying to be funny because, you know, of the nightlife that's down there. So she kind of didn't pay any mind to it. The first night, everything was fine. The second night at 12:45, she hears a knock at the door, just 3 little knocks. She said they weren't frantic or like loud or anything. They were just like polite, soft knocks. So she goes to the door, she looks through the peephole, and she sees this gorgeous guy standing there. She said he was like so good looking. He was pale skin, he had dark hair, the most gorgeous eyes she'd ever seen. He says, hey, I'm so sorry to bother you, but I left my phone in here the other day. She was kind of weirded out a little bit because she knew she hadn't had any guests, but she thought maybe it was whoever stayed there before her, but she hadn't seen or heard a phone. He tells her, hey, I can tell you where it's at. You can go get it for me. You don't even have to let me in. Then he mumbled something that she didn't really hear. She couldn't hear through the door. So without thinking, she just cracked the door a little bit. That's when he winked and said, thank you. That's all I needed. Then left. Now, personally, this is where Kate loses me because she said it didn't really scare her because he was so good looking. Girl, so was Ted Bundy. She goes,
it's cooler than what the fuck?
This creepy video has already racked up nearly 3 million views, and you'll be shocked when you find out why. The footage shows 2 girls sitting in a car late at night, somewhere in a parking lot in Louisiana. At first, nothing seemed unusual. They were just chatting, waiting for another friend to show up so they could all go grab dinner at Baskin-Robbins. But then something really unsettling happened. A random man walked up to their car and bent one of the windshield wipers backward. Then he moved to the side of the car and folded the side mirror in. After that, he just walked away casually, disappearing into the parking lot like nothing ever happened. The girls were totally freaked out, but thankfully, the driver realized what was going on right away. She started the car and pulled out of the parking spot fast. In the dashcam footage, you can actually see that the wiper was still flipped up like that. Her friend didn't get it at first, so the driver explained, if she had stepped out of the car to fix the wipers or the mirror, that man or someone working with him could have rushed in and attacked her. People actually do this on purpose to lure drivers out of their cars.
This is the most haunted forest in America, the Freetown State Forest. In the 1970s, a young girl was found tied to a tree here. She had been assaulted and left for dead by a killer. And in that same decade, a cult held devil-worshipping ceremonies out here and committed a number of murders. One of these murder victims' heads was found, but her body was never located. It's possible it's still in these woods. Bigfoot calls this place home along with spirits, demons, and Ronald Reagan saw a UFO here. My full documentary that I filmed here will be on my YouTube this evening. It's spooky.
I didn't think this story was gonna be as scary as it was, but it definitely is, so let me just start. So this guy says that when he was younger, one of his distant aunts passed away. He says that he really didn't know her, but he could tell the big impact that her death made on the family. Since they all traveled into the town that she passed away at, they sent him to go and spend the night with his cousins. He explains how they weren't gonna stay at the cousin's house, but at their cousin's grandmother's house. He had never met their grandmother until then, and he explains how she was really nice and even asked him to call her Mama Carmen. And no, it was not his grandmother. He was related to the uncle. The aunt was by law married, and his aunt, so it was the mom's mom, so not his grandmother, but his cousin's grandmother. I hope that makes sense. He explains that Mama Carmen's house was really big and it was made out of wood and it was so pretty, but he knew that there was just something off or weird about it. So when nighttime came, they directed him to this really big room in the house, and the older cousin said something to him that just like threw him off. Before walking out of the bedroom, his cousin tells him, hey, whatever you do, just don't respond to them. And he was like, what? What do you mean? And the cousin tells him, just don't respond to the voices. Don't respond to the thing that's gonna talk to you from under the bed. Bitch, if you think I was about to stay there, I'm gonna go wherever you're going after that, cause what the hell? However, he knew his cousins and how much they play around, all the pranks they've done on him in the past. So he was just like, ugh, this is another prank, so whatever, yeah, I won't listen to the voices. He also admits that when his cousins would stay at his house, he would also scare them, so obviously he just thought this was a joke. So he ends up falling asleep and then wakes up to a voice calling him by his name. Felipe. He thought he was dreaming, but as he opened his eyes, he could have sworn that he heard that last little Felipe. Not me giving myself goosebumps right now. So he's laying there very still, awake, and hears nothing. And as he's drifting off to sleep again, he hears that voice again. Felipe. This time, he recognized the voice calling him by name. It had been a very long time since he had heard that voice. It was almost like he had forgotten what that voice sounded like, and it was because it was his mom's voice. His mother, who was no longer living. He immediately gets up and starts walking towards the door. He says he doesn't even want to look back. He doesn't even have the courage to look back and see what is underneath the bed, but he exits the room. However, when he finally makes it to the door where his cousins were sleeping, he said that he felt embarrassed. He thought to himself, if I go in there and tell them that I'm scared or tell them that I heard voices, they're never gonna let it go. I'm gonna have to hear this for the rest of my life, and he didn't want to deal with that. He said that it took him a minute to grow some courage, but he just turned around and went right back to the bedroom that he was sleeping in. He walks down the hallway, goes into the room, lays down, and he's laying there for a good minute. And finally, he is drifting off to sleep, and that is when he hears the voice again. Felipe, I forgive you. You have nothing to forgive me for, he said, half asleep, responding to the voice. You wish for me to die, but I forgive you. The voice responded. So this is where Felipe finally starts telling us a story about what happened with his mom back when she was alive. And he says that he has to confess something that he had never told anyone. His mom was really sick, so sick that she fell into like some sort of paralysis on her body. And he had to take care of the mom because the dad basically abandoned them when this happened because he couldn't deal with it. So can you imagine, like, the mom fell into paralysis, the dad left because he just couldn't deal with it, and he left his son to take care of a fully grown adult. He does say that the dad did continue to send them money just to help out around the house, but he never showed up. He stopped playing outside with the neighborhood kids. He stopped doing his homework. He didn't go to school anymore. And all he did all day long, 24/7, was to take care of his mom. And he admits that at that time, he really hated his life and everybody who was in it. And yes, it's true. He really wished for his dad to die for doing this to him, but he also admits admits that he wished for his mom to die as well. He says that he doesn't wish her dead the same way he wished his dad dead. He wished her dead just so that she can get some peace, so that she wouldn't be in pain, and so that he can also just be a kid again. And he says that it was really hard to take care of her because she couldn't eat by herself, she couldn't shower by herself, she couldn't even go to the restroom. So it was things that he had to do for her, and it was a lot. But that desire for his mom to die was something that he never told anyone, not a single soul. And this is in fact the very first time that he's writing this down for this podcast to share with the world. So we go back to the voice telling him that she forgives him for wishing her dead. He is more asleep than awake when he asks for forgiveness to the voice that sounds like his mom. He admits that he doesn't know if it was really his mom or what was underneath that bed, but because of what the voice said, he wanted to ask for forgiveness, and he actually put his hand down underneath the bed. He didn't know what he expected. He didn't know if he expected somebody to grab his hand, for someone to say that he's forgiven, but he put his hand down there and actually fell asleep with his hand just hanging there. After falling asleep, he was awoken by a weird sound, and when he opened his eyes, it's when he felt a sensation of something touching his hand. He explains how the hand felt really rough, and it was definitely coming from underneath that bed. At first, he thought he was dreaming, but no, this was definitely not a dream. He was definitely awake. So by this point, the hand was already grabbing at his chest, and he was terrified. He said his heart was beating so fast. However, his curiosity won over the fear that he was feeling. So he literally moved to the edge of the bed and looked to see what was coming out from underneath the bed. What he saw was this very long, gray, old-looking hand coming from underneath that bed. It was fucked up. It was scary. As he was looking at the hand, he could see his hand next to that other hand, so he knew he was awake, but he couldn't take in what he was seeing. It was a lot, and it was crazy. He said at that point, his body became very cold. He was very stiff, and he can still look at his hand and at the hand grabbing at it now, like they're trying to pull him down. And in that very moment, as he's being pulled down, the voice is saying, "I forgive you. I forgive you. I forgive you." Over and over again. It was at this moment that voice completely changed. It didn't even sound like his mom's voice anymore, and it sounded like it was making fun of him. So now the voice was like mocking him, saying, "Do you forgive me? Do you forgive me?" Like over and over. He said that the way the voice changed was like it was using his mom's voice, and then all of a sudden it was just not his mom at all. So like it was trying to trick him. For some reason, this reminds me of Leprechaun. Have you guys seen it? Where like his voice changes. That was also the moment where he remembered what his cousin told him. If a voice is talking to you, do not respond. He wanted to take that advice, so he decided to stay quiet, but at that moment, it was too late. He had already talked back to the voice. Without knowing what to do, he said that he literally bit his mouth so that he wouldn't talk anymore, closed his eyes, and just stayed very still. He even tried to like let go of the hand that was holding him, but the more he tried to let go of the hand, the more the hand was trying to pull him underneath the bed. "Felipe, let me go. I'm scared, I can't do it. Felipe, let me go. Felipe, let me go." That's what the voice was telling him now. He finally understood that that was not his mom. That was not his mom's ghost. That was not his mom at all. It was actually the complete opposite of what his mom was. So he fought. He said that he fought for the longest time. He tried to hit. He tried to hold on to the bed. He was not about to let this thing drag him under. And he was successful because it finally like let go of his hand from all the fighting that he was doing. And when that happened, he immediately turned to like the side of the bed where the wall is, where that thing cannot reach him. He said that he sat there next to the wall on the bed, just like waiting for a hand to come up and try to get him again. And it was like the longest silence he had ever experienced. But that was also when the sun finally came out and he heard somebody in the kitchen. He literally jumped off the bed to the door into the kitchen, and it was Mama Carmen that was in there. He told Mama Carmen everything that had happened in the bedroom the entire night. He admits that she never interrupted him. She heard everything he had to say. When he finally finished telling her what happened, she just looked at him, smiled at him, and said, "You shouldn't give anything that much importance." That surely it was a hallucination or he was dreaming. That maybe it was because of him going to the cemetery and funerals because of that aunt that passed away that might have caused him to hallucinate or have these types of dreams. She also asked him not to pay attention or to listen to his cousins because they're little scaredy cats and they also love scaring people but were scared as well. She told Felipe that they used to sleep in that bedroom and then didn't want to sleep in that bedroom anymore, so maybe they made it up so that no one could sleep in there. sorry, what? You're telling me that they've experienced this, but you're saying they made it up because what? She said that she believes that they made up this story so that they can move out of that bedroom and somebody else occupy the space that they were always scared to sleep in. He admits that he would have loved to believe her saying that they made this up, but how would they explain the voice? How could he explain the things that the voice was saying that only he knew? Now I'm curious as to what his cousins experienced in that room, because it's obvious that they've experienced something. He was like, there's no way that they could have pranked me with my mom's voice and saying things that I had never told anybody. So yeah, she doesn't want me to be scared, but I believe my cousins and I believe they experienced something in there. He also says that he's never gonna forget what that hand looked like. Like, that was not a dream. That was not something that he dreamt of. He was awake and he was there. But man, I would not know what to do if that happened to me. What do you guys think?
Can we show him the older homestead?
Yeah, let's go. As you know.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Was that you?
Yeah, that's on either side.
They went to both.
Yeah.
She went to see her daughter at the hospital when she sees this. A mother by the name Sanda accompanying her daughter in a hospital room at the Phoenix Hospital in Arizona when she noticed her daughter began to interact with something in the room.
It's so weird.
Is it you?
Is it me? It's not me.
It's motion sensor. There's no one over there. Okay, do it one more time.
Do it one more time, please. So, you're a girl? You're a girl! Are you? She's a girl!
And just for show, let's see if it comes on right here.
Okay.
I'm right here.
Okay.
Nothing. Are you 5? Are you 6? 7?
8.
9? You're 9? You're 9 years old?
Your name starts with a B? Is it Brianna?
Brittany. Is your name Brittany?
Is it Bianca?
That's a weird name.
I don't know, it's what
Came to mind?
yeah.
Bianca?
No, we have a Bianca friend.
Something that claims to be the spirit of a 9-year-old girl named Bianca began using the faucet to communicate with her daughter.
That was creepy.
What do you mean creepy?
How did Diva guess it? Yeah, it is creepy.
Everything seemed like a friendly conversation with the girl, Bianca's spirit, but as she video called her father and asked it to come with her, this happens.
You're gonna be with me?
Suddenly, the faucet stops as a shadow is seen moving towards her daughter.
I know there's someone here, baby. It's just a little chilly in here. My nose is freezing, look.
What's that noise?
What noise, baby?
No, it sounds like static, like on my phone.
Does it? Can you do a screen recording?
No, I don't know why it sounds like that. It sounds like static on the phone.
Immediately after this, the father begins to hear static from the video call as they feel the room getting cold.
Okay, Dad, I'm gonna go off camera.
After getting some imagery performed and returning to the room, the faucet never turned on by itself again. Could it be that something evil disguised itself as the spirit of a young girl to attach itself to her? Let me know what you think.
Do not listen to this scary story at nighttime or right before you're going to bed. Because I love you so much, I'm giving you this warning because what the fuck? So typically I listen to a lot of Spanish scary stories because I like translating them for you guys. I typically listen to these when my husband's asleep next to me and I'm just like scrolling story through story, right? I will say when I listened to this story, I got full body chills, right? But I was like, okay, cool, I'm saving this. This is gonna be a good ass story, and I just kept going. A lot of the times you guys ask me in my comments sense. Like, how do you sleep after reading all these stories? And I'm gonna be honest, I sleep perfectly well. Like, typically I'm not scared, and I wasn't scared last night, which is why it's so weird that I had a dream about this fucking story. I guess this story really impacted me more than I thought. So I'm gonna translate the story for you guys, and then I'm gonna tell you the dream that I had at the very end. So there was this girl, she was around 15 or 16 years old, and she lived with her mom. Unfortunately, her mom lost her job and they had no money, so they ended up losing their house as well. So one of the mom's family members tells them that they have a house that they can live in because they didn't want them to be homeless, but unfortunately this house was like away from civilization. This house was in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by like hills and mountains, but since the mom and daughter had nowhere else to go, they accepted the offer and decided to go live in this house. They end up going to the house, and when they get there, they notice the strangest thing ever. Right in front of the door is this big ass tree. Like, the tree was so big that when they would try to open the front door, it would be hitting that tree. So the mom thought it was really strange that the tree would be like right in front of the front door. So the people who actually gave them a ride to that house noticed the tree as well, and they told the mom that if she wanted to, they can also help her remove that tree so that it doesn't stop the front door from opening. And she agreed, so they decided to do it then and there. When they removed that tree, on the roots of like where the tree was growing, they see like a skeleton of a baby. The mom says that it looked like maybe someone had buried the baby a very long time ago, because the bones of the baby skeleton were just being eaten by the roots of that tree. She said that they didn't end up telling anybody about it. She just, had the tree removed, they saw that, and they just like moved on with their lives. Time passes, and in this house, it's a 2-bedroom home. It's a little small, but it does have a hallway that leads to both of the rooms. Both the mom and the daughter start hearing noises in the hallway, and they realize that it sounds like a little baby. She even said it doesn't sound like an animal, it didn't sound like a kid. There was no like steps walking. It sounded like a baby playing in the hallway. So the mom almost felt guilty because she felt like something had happened there. I mean, they found the baby bones, and she just felt really bad that maybe the baby ghost was there. So she started leaving out baby toys in the hallway. I already have chills. So after leaving the toys in the hallway, the mom says that they would then start hearing this baby playing with those specific toys that were left out for it. She mentions that nothing scary would happen, but she did feel that over time, the baby's energy was growing and growing. So one day, the mom and daughter get into a really big fight. And I mean, they were screaming at each other, like they were going at it, and the daughter ends up going to her room and like slamming the door, and mom also goes to her room and slams the door. So when the mom goes into her room, slams the door, and sits alone, she realizes that maybe she was a little tough on her daughter. Mom felt so bad and so guilty that she's like, I'm gonna go to her room and I'm gonna, apologize, and let's try to talk through it. So the mom goes and she knocks on her daughter's door, and of course the daughter didn't answer because she was pissed. After the daughter not answering her door, the mom still decided to open the door, and she starts off with, look, I really need to talk to you. And then she stays silent. The daughter was laying on her bed and she was like, what? That's when the mom was like, get up and come with me. And the daughter's like, what? And the mom's like, get up and come with me. The daughter's like, I thought you wanted to talk to me. And she goes, shut up, get up and come with me. So once the daughter realizes that something is going on, because the mom was really seriously telling her to get up, she gets up. Her mom grabs her by the hand, they leave her bedroom, close her bedroom door, and the mom takes her back to her own room. So the mom explains that when she opened her daughter's door and told her, I need to talk to you, she looks at her daughter that's laying on the bed, and she sees a baby on top of her daughter's chest. She says that the baby was not a normal baby. When the mom was telling her daughter, get up and come with me, that baby would hold on to her daughter even tighter, looking at the mom and smiling at her. Oh my god, look at my heart. I think the reason why I imagine these stories in my head, so I'm seeing this shit like a movie in my brain. Can you imagine? She walked in there feeling so guilty that she got into a fight with her mom, tries to talk to her, and fucking sees a baby on her daughter's chest. As she's telling her, get up and let's go, baby hugs her daughter tighter while looking at her smiling. They left that house that night and never looked back, didn't go back to investigate, didn't want want to know what the fuck happened there, because at that point, it wasn't just a little innocent baby ghost, because she saw a baby, but it was not a normal looking baby. Now for my dream. So in my dream, I'm laying in bed. Leave it to me to take naps in my dream too. And next to me is one of my exes, because my dream wasn't scary enough. And in my dream, I'm waking up because I'm feeling something crawling up my body. And when this thing finally gets to the very top, I see a scary looking baby with fucking crazy teeth. And you know how like in your dreams you can't fight, it's like slow motion? Well, as soon as I saw that face, my hand was like trying to push it away. I mean, the baby was like biting my hand, and I was like, what do I do? Because I'm moving so slowly. I was pushing that baby towards my ex, who was still asleep, because what the fuck, take him, not me. But this baby wouldn't give up. It kept trying to come at me, and to the point where I'm slowly moving my fucking head away. It doesn't sound as scary, but like it was fucked up in my dream. Okay, so the baby's still crawling, and once it's like face to face to me, I guess it like I got so spooked that I woke myself up. All it had to do was go to my ex, like, why the fuck would you want me? But no, I got really scared. I woke up and I was like, what the fuck was I dreaming about right now? Anyway, I hope you don't have dreams about this story.
Have you ever wondered why people say it's not a good idea to play hide and go seek in the woods at night? Well, it's not just because it's dangerous. You see, the woods at night can be very creepy. Things happen. So this is a story that I heard from someone named Sabrina. Sabrina said when she was a young girl, she would go with her family to West Virginia to see her aunt, uncle, and cousins. And she said she always enjoyed this because she got to hang out with her cousins who were close to her in age. Well, she said this particular time when they had went down, it was like a Saturday night, and the parents were all inside kind of, drinking and talking and having a good time. And they really didn't care what the kids were doing. So they were in the backyard playing, and their backyard was situated against the woods. So one of her cousins had the idea, like, hey, we should go in the woods and play hide and go seek. And Sabrina was like, I don't know if that's like a good idea. Like, it's pretty dark. And he's like, oh, come on, it'll be fine. We play out here all the time in the woods. So they go out into the woods and they start hiding. Their cousin is the seeker. So Sabrina said she like went down kind of what looked like a trail, and she found like these sort of bushes. She goes around the bushes and kind of finds like a spot in between where it's like kind of open and no one could see her. So she's sitting in the bushes just hiding. It's completely dark out except for the moonlight. And she said all of a sudden she felt like someone was standing behind her. And she could hear like breathing. At this time, she thinks that like this is one of her cousins. And so she's like, go find somewhere else to hide. Like, you're going to get us found. Like, this is my spot. Find somewhere else. She said they didn't say anything. And she said, like, wait a second. Is that my cousin? Like, we're out in the middle of the woods. She looks behind her. There's no one there. And she was like, oh, that's weird. She's like, I heard it. I hope he hurry up and finds me, because that was kind of creepy. So off in the distance, she can kind of hear her cousin one by one, like finding people. And he still hasn't found her yet. So she thinks maybe I like hid too good and I need to go like basically find him so he could say he found me and then I could go back in the yard. So she starts wandering around in the woods. And then she's like, you know what? I'm just going to call out his name so he can find me. So she starts saying his name out loud, and she says it, and she hears him say, hey, where are you? And she's like, I'm over here. And then she heard it again. Hey, where are you? And she's like, I said, I'm over here. Like, come and find me. Like, I'm over here. And once again, she heard it. Hey, I'm over here. So she walks in the direction of what she thinks is her cousin at this time. And she's like, hey, where are you? Like, where are you at? Like, come and find me. I want you to find me so we can be done with the game. And he's like, I'm over this way. Come just a little bit further. And she said she didn't know why, but she had like this bad feeling like maybe she should head back to the yard. Like something was just off about the situation. So she started walking back towards the yard. And she said all of a sudden, standing by the bushes, she sees her cousin. And she's like, okay, you found me now. Let's go back to the yard. And she said he was just standing there, very still, like staring at her. And she's like, okay, come on. Like, this isn't funny. Let's go back to the yard. And he's just standing there, like not doing anything. So she just was like, all right, whatever, you stay out here. I'm going back to the yard. She makes it back to the yard and she doesn't see any of her cousins. She goes inside and her cousins are sitting down there talking with the parents. And she's like, wait, weren't you just outside? Like, how did you get inside so fast? And he's like, what are you talking about? He's like, I found everyone except for you. And then I gave up and we all went inside. And then she's like, but who was that outside? And they're like, what are you talking about? There's no one outside. So she's like, okay, whatever. She goes to bed that night and she's sleeping in a room by herself. Well, she wakes up and she said standing in her room was her cousin. And she said like he was just standing very, very still looking at the wall. And she's like, what are you doing, creepo? Like, why are you in my room? And he said, let's go play hide and seek. And she's like, what? No, it's like midnight. Like, I'm not going outside. Let's go play hide and go seek. And she's like, what are you talking about? He turns, walks to the window, and she said, like, he opened the window and just, like, went out the window and walked into the woods. So, like, she got up, ran, and told her parents, like, hey, my cousin's, like, he just went outside into the backyard. He's asking me to play hide and go seek. So, like, the parents got up her aunt and uncle, and where's her cousin? He's still in bed.
What the fuck was that? Bro!
What's going on around you?
I don't know. I'm frozen. I am frozen.
Did the window break?
This police officer was checking for an intruder. He wasn't expecting this. Late at night, an owner saw her Airbnb door was open, so she called the police suspecting someone had broken in. When the officers get there, the owner assures them nobody's staying there. So she asked the 2 police officers on site to check the house for any intruders. Using their body cams, this is what was recorded. He hears a loud bang coming from the bathroom, but doesn't find anyone. They split up to check the house, and as he goes upstairs, he sees this.
Police! Anyone inside, make yourself known.
A door opens up on its own, but nothing's there. As he goes downstairs, this happens.
Downstairs, clear.
He checks again, but nobody's up there.
Upstairs, clear. Yeah, we're good.
We have captured one of the most scariest videos ever today. I'm still a bit shaken. This is what my dad's camera caught of my reaction. Dad? Dad? Oh my god. Dad? Dad! Yeah! And this is what my camera caught of my dad. You cold. You roasting? What are you on about?
Got a headache as well, a really bad one, come on. Freezing. Oh, really chilly.
I'm roasting. You alright?
Yeah, hey.
You alright? Dad? 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 Oh my god. Dad? Dad!
The head.
What are you doing? What have you done that?
Headache.
Why have you just shouted that at
I
me?
shouted, stop shouting, I've got a headache.
Oh my god, what are you doing?
I haven't shouted.
Yes, you have. You just shouted, get out.
I haven't.
And your face looks so different.
It's gone now.
What are you doing? Why have you just done that?
I haven't done anything.
This, things are all over the floor.
I didn't touch them.
Your face looks so different. What the f*** did you just do?
I don't know. I just had a massive headache. That's all I remember. I had my head down and I had a headache. And then you started screaming.
Why did you're gonna have to watch that back. You didn't look yourself.
Just felt weird. Felt like a bit out of body at the moment.
Oh my god.
You frightened the death out of me when you screamed. That kind of woke me up, if you know what I mean. Oh.
Honestly, I was like, hello, hello, and then you just screamed it out.
I don't remember
and
any
then
of that.
That just fell off the table.
I remember you asking me if I was okay. That was it. And then you screamed.
God. Giving myself a right now.
Put your hand out. I can see him shaking from here. I got my glasses on. Well, I didn't mean to. I honestly went really cold, then I had like a splitting headache, like a migraine type thing. Like I felt ill, if you know what I mean, as well.
I feel sick now. You don't remember that at all?
No, I don't remember shouting. No, I remember you shouting. We probably better stop doing it.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch it back. I'll be on that camera.
Oh my god.
My husband and I were chased by something in the woods of—
Okay, so if you really don't want to sleep tonight, let me tell you about the thing that lives in the Appalachian woods. And if you like this stuff, I have a whole episode on it. Generations ago in northern Appalachia, there was this one community that all let their children be babysat by this one woman named Mother Tabitha. This community was really cut off from the rest of the world, and they didn't realize that they had a higher child mortality rate than was normal at the time. So one day, an older brother ran to Mother Tabitha's house to go pick up his little brother. When he gets there, he looks in through the window and he sees that Mother Tabitha is doing this really strange dance, and all of the kids are totally bewitched by it. And next to her dancing is this creature that has a caribou for a head. It's got like the body of a human, but a caribou head. This child freaks out and runs to tell the adults, who all go to Mother Tabitha's house. And when they get there, they also realize that another child has died under Tabitha's care that day. Remember, this is an Appalachian community. They know that there's witches that live in the woods, so the parents all freak out and chase Tabitha out. As she's running away, her dress flaps, and they can see that underneath her dress, there's a ton of bones. Really small ones, like child-sized bones. And this is because Tabitha wasn't human. She was a monster that lived in the woods, and the caribou-headed creature was the devil. What she had been doing was killing the children in her care, allowing the parents to bury the child, and then digging it up and eating it. And she escaped into the woods, and people think she's still out there, so stay safe.
Have you heard about the man who went hunting at night and saw something bone-chilling in his night vision camera? There was a guy who went hunting in East Texas with some friends at night for hogs, and they split up. He went and set up his area and was looking down his night scope, couldn't find anything, so he decided to switch spots. So he moved from one tree to a different tree. He set up, his scope and all of that, and he's looking down and he sees in the scope a heat signature. So he assumes, it's either going to be a hog or another animal. At first, he thinks it's a bear because it's on all fours and it's larger than a hog, until it gets a little closer and he sees it's a human. A human man, completely naked, on all fours, sniffing the ground where this hunter was previously sitting. He's sniffing the area, and it looks like he's trying to catch a scent of where this guy went. And the hunter said he's just watching this person do this, and then he turns and looks directly down the scope at the hunter. The hunter said that he watched this man turn and look toward the sky, and it looked like he was going to howl. And instead he heard, "Help me. I'm hurt. Help me." But it wasn't a man's voice, it was a woman's voice coming out of this man. He said that this person on the ground kept screaming, help me, I'm hurt, please," in a woman's voice. And he didn't know what to do, so he fired off a warning shot, right over this person's head. It took off in one direction, and he took off in the other direction. He ran all the way back to his truck, got in and left, and he has no clue what he witnessed, and he doesn't want to.